Hi everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Poly Live. This is our final episode of the summer season.
I know, I'm so sad. We had such great times.
I know. And it's the final episode of the summer season because summer's coming to a close and it's almost time for school. The theme of this episode is see you soon, because you're almost here, which is pretty exciting. So
Devin, what was your favorite part about summer?
I had a great summer. I spent the whole summer here in SLO. The weather was beautiful. Everybody was great. I also got to do some traveling, and I went to Alaska, actually, which was gorgeous. So I recommend everybody goes to Alaska at least once in their life. I think that was my favorite part.
I like that. Was it cold? Because I'm not a cold fan. That's why I'm here in SLO.
Because I was there over the summer, I have no idea what it's like over the winter. But over the summer, it really wasn't bad at all. It was like nice and 75, 80 degrees every day. And the weirdest part was that the sun never went down. Like, I was there, like, the sun sort of went down around, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning, but it never got dark, and then the sun would start coming back up around 4 in the morning. It was really weird. That'll
do.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, it was my birthday over the summer, so that's obviously probably my favorite part. It was really cool. One of my cousins got me these really great shoes, and I thought one of them were running shoes, and then I tried to run in them, and then I got shin splints, so not running shoes, but it was a good eventful part of the summer. I'm really glad I have to run that half marathon in 5 weeks with shin splints, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, good luck to you.
So we have classes coming up, and what do you need to do to get ready for classes?
I have to do a lot. I'm not as prepared as I should be, but I definitely need to take another look at my schedule and make sure I have all the classes that I'm supposed to have, and just double check that. And I still have to do all my book shopping. And like one thing I always do before my school year starts is I clean my room, because my first week or so is going to be so crazy that I know I'm not going to have time to clean my room. So I sit there, I clean my room, and I get all organized, and then I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I definitely need to still get those books. And I heard the university store is doing an online thing where you can compare between all the different prices for like Amazon and the university store, eBay, all of that. So definitely going to go use that.
I might ask you to show me how to do that, because I didn't know about that. That's cool.
Yeah, got you.
We actually already got our first audience question. We have a question from Cassidy, who asked what part of Alaska did I visit, because she's from there. Cassidy, I spent a couple weeks in Alaska. I got to go to a couple different places. It was so much fun. I went to, I flew into Anchorage. I did some time in Denali, and I went to Seward. And I think I covered, and I spent a couple days in a town called Talkeetna. So I don't know if you're from there, let me know. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I want to visit more of Alaska. It's so big. It's huge. Yeah. So, yeah, it was really cool.
So what are you most excited about for this upcoming year?
Well, it's my last year here at Poly, so I want to have a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm going to be auditioning for a play in the first week of classes, so I hope I'm cast. I'm really excited for that. I'm trying to start up a club, so that should be fun.
What club?
A sketch comedy club.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I'm
a little nervous because I'm not even that funny, but we're going to give it a shot. So.
You have me laughing, so I think you're on the right track.
Thanks, Modi. What are you doing? What are you nervous about?
What am I nervous about? I went through SOAR over the summer, and I feel like whenever I go through or have a group like for SOAR, they have the highlight reel of me. Like, I'm always on my game, and I'm kind of nervous that when we come back in the fall and they see me, like all my stories and stuff, not going to be as great. I'm a little skeptical.
Okay.
What are you nervous about?
Well, I'm definitely nervous about, I'm nervous about a lot of things, but I'm definitely nervous about staying on top of all my stuff. I'm going to be busy this year. I need to, sit on my calendar, plan it all out, and make sure that I know what I'm doing. But as long as I really stay on top of my stuff, I'll be fine. So.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm definitely nervous this year, but it's not even as close to as nervous as I was as a freshman before I moved in. True. I was so nervous when I was moving in. I just had no idea what to expect or what I was going to be doing or if I was going to meet anybody that I liked. And I don't know, did you feel like the same way at all?
I was extremely nervous. I know I definitely went to all of the different stores and got all those checklists of everything that you needed to bring. I remember being very focused on Q-tips for some reason. And then I could not forget to bring Q-tips because that will save lives. I don't, there's so many uses.
Well, now they're bad for your ears. That's what I've been told.
I heard that too, but I have so many of them still.
I went and I thought everything that I needed, and I still, to this day, I have yet to buy enough pens for college. I lose so many pens. So I think my tip to you guys would be go buy maybe 200 pens and see if that'll last you a month or two. Yeah, that's my advice for the day. I never have enough pens. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and introduce the our photo contest. I don't know if you guys have been listening, but we've been promoting our photo contest all season, and you guys have been great about submitting some photos. And we have 3 final photos that we want you guys to check out. And then you guys are going to vote on the final winners. So we're going to go ahead and show you those photos now. There's 3 of them, and they're all really, really cool. Tell us a little bit about the first one, Noni.
The first one is from Justin. I believe your last name is Rapolis, but I'm sorry in advance if it's not. He went to Australia. That's really cool.
That's
awesome. His picture is in Australia. I believe there's like an overarch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know where the screen is.
And I heard the opera house is in the background, so that's pretty cool.
There's that. Okay, in our second,
we have another photo from Erica Patstone, who took a picture just above the Grand Canyon, which is awesome. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I really want to go to the Grand Canyon. I actually got to see your photo, and it looks so cool. Like, the view is just, that's insane. So good for you.
And then our last person, I believe she asked you a question about
You're right,
Alaska.
this is Cassidy.
Cassidy Williams,
That's funny.
Who is in Alaska. That's absolutely amazing. You know a little bit more about Alaska than I do.
Well, I can tell you that the views are amazing, and like Cassidy's picture is really cool, and those you can take pictures like that just about anywhere in Alaska. So really cool picture, Cassidy, and definitely take a minute and pick your favorite photo. Vote for it right now. We'll also give you a chance at the end of the show to vote, and then at the end we'll be announcing a winner, and that winner will be a prize. You're going to get a t-shirt. So that's going to be really cool. And definitely thank you to everybody that participated in our contest. It was a lot of fun to see all the different pictures come in. So good job to you guys.
And right now we're going to go into our slow life video so you guys can see all the different things that you can do in slow.
to that good old slow town where time shifts into neutral and idles away. Take me down to that good old slow town. I've got to get back to that city today.
Thanks for, well, I don't know why I said thank you. We're back. I hope you enjoyed that video. Gave you a little bit about what life is like here in San Luis Obispo. We love it here, and that's part of the reason why it's gorgeous here. There's so many things to do. So I hope that you're excited to come. I hope that video got you a little bit more pumped up. So we have some guests here. We have Andy Lopino and Tessa Stevens here from Housing to talk a little bit about what to expect when you move in, what to expect in your residence hall. And so they're going to tell us a little bit about what they do here on campus. Tessa,
yeah.
I'll start with you.
My name is Tessa Stevens. I work for University Housing. I do a lot of the marketing and public relations and outreach with the community. I might have seen some of you at SOAR. If you came to SOAR, I was talking up there representing housing, so it's great to be here.
My name's Andy Lopino. I'm a coordinator of student development for University Housing, and so I supervise RAs in one of our learning communities, Santa Lucia North Mountain, which holds our engineers.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So obviously we have them on because move-in's coming up, and it's a big deal. It's exciting. It's maybe a little scary, and then your college life is starting. So we're going to throw a poll at you right now. We want to know what you're nervous about coming to Cal Poly. So let us know what you think. We want to hear what you have to say. We'll discuss it on air. So take a look at that poll and answer it. And then I'm going to come back to you guys and ask you, what should students expect at move-in?
Well, every year it's a little bit different, but most of the time move-in day is pretty exciting, pretty stressful, pretty chaotic. There's just parents and grandparents and kids and everybody running around and just unloading their cars. And
Sometimes
so
there's dogs.
There's dogs, there's animals. I mean, I think like an average of 3 people come for every student, so the population on our campus is pretty large on that day. So we have some suggestions for move-in day. So when you arrive onto campus, there's actually driving and parking directions that can be found online. So we suggest that the students look at those, because when you drive onto campus, you'll want to route yourself as close as you can get to the residence hall, and then just unload your items temporarily there on the curb before driving and parking your car in a remote parking lot that we have. So one of the biggest suggestions that we have for move-in day is that parents and students know that once they unload their items on the curb, they should move their car immediately, and then there's shuttles running all day. Every 20 minutes there's a shuttle bus running from the parking lot back to the residence hall. So that way you don't have to worry about a ticket, you don't have to worry about somebody coming by and chalking your tires and giving you warnings. You just unload your items, park your car, and come back and then enjoy yourself during the day getting unloaded. And we always say wear comfortable shoes because there's no stairs in the residence halls. Did you guys live in the residence halls?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, so most of the residence halls don't have elevators. Did I say they don't have stairs?
You did say that. I was going to correct you.
Okay, I meant to say
They do have stairs.
They do have stairs. They
You don't have to
elevators.
climb a ladder or something like that.
Okay, they don't have elevators in the residence hall, so wear comfortable shoes. And also, we check out dollies during the day, but you can bring a dolly if you have one to bring, just to make the move-in a little bit easier. And then the apartments, Sierra Madre and PCV, or Sierra Vista and PCV both have elevators, so you can be prepared for that. But yeah, so definitely check out the driving and parking directions and unload your car and use the shuttle and all of that.
They have elevators and stairs.
Yes, elevators and stairs. So we also suggest just not bringing everything you own. So that's something else on move-in day. If you own, a lot of people have tons of shoes, tons of clothes, but don't bring everything you own, and know that your parents, hopefully parents, if you come back on parent weekend in late October, that can be a time to bring items that your student maybe forgot, or to take home items that are unnecessary. So coordinating, hopefully most of the students have coordinated with their roommates by this point and figured out what they're bringing so that they don't bring redundant items and mom and dad aren't lugging back a bunch of items in their minivan when they leave. So yeah, so move-in day is really, really fun, actually. It's a lot of fun.
And the good news is, I remember moving in as a freshman, and I forgot hangers of all things. And I didn't think of hangers. I thought of a million other things, and I didn't think of hangers. And luckily, there's a Bed Bath & Beyond right in town and all that. So if you do forget something, it's not the end of the world.
We are a fully functioning city. We have a Target, a Bed Bath & Beyond. Actually, most of those stores are opening early on move-in day. And just know, if you forget a power strip, or you need an extension cord, or you need something, just know that after you get all moved in and settled, you can go grab lunch and run some errands around slow. So there'll be plenty of time to do all of that.
Definitely. And on the first day of move-in, you're meeting another important figure in the next year of your life, and that's your RA. Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect with, what your RA's role in your life is going to be and stuff like that?
Yeah, so our RAs are our resident assistants, and if you live in Cerro Vista, then you'll have community advisors. Same position, just a different title for each one. But yeah, from day one, they're going to be working to get to know the residents that are on their floor. They're our student staff leaders, so they're going to get to know everyone, provide programming, entertainment for them throughout the week, on the weekends. They respond to student needs, so if there's conflict within a room, if they're having some roommate issues, maybe they're just having some academic or some personal health issues, RAs are good resources for our students to go talk to, and they're great at referring. They know a lot of the resources on campus and can help make those connections if a student is struggling to connect to the university.
Yeah, I remember I absolutely loved my RAs. They would always help me if there was a conflict, and they made like pancakes every weekend in the residence halls. This was the best.
Yeah, they are great.
We have a question from the audience, and they asked, will there be a fridge in the room?
Yeah. All the residence halls and the apartments have refrigerators. So there's a mini fridge in the residence halls. Doesn't the mini fridge, is it a little freezer on top
Mini
too?
fridge and little freezer, and actually we do not allow extra refrigerators or freezers to come in. So that's an item to keep at home. If you do have a medical need for some reason, you can contact housing. We can work with you on that.
And definitely just look over the list of what we suggest bringing, what we suggest not bringing, and what are definitely prohibited in the halls, because we can't have microwaves and things like that in each of the bedrooms. So just check over that list before you come.
And there's also, I believe, accessible microwaves for most students as well, right?
On every floor there are microwaves, but just it's not allowable inside the residence hall rooms. But the refrigerators are provided, and they're only a couple years old. They're pretty nice, and they're big. Yeah.
Awesome. You touched a little bit on it, but I know that you guys spend a lot of time dealing with everything that comes with housing, and I know a big part of that is your roommate, and sometimes conflicts come up with your roommate. What would you guys suggest as maybe tips to avoid conflicts with your roommate, or then how to resolve them when they do come up, something like that?
Yeah, I would say one of the big reasons why conflict happens is because they're not communicating with one another. And so the RAs, at the very beginning, we're actually going to hand out roommate agreements to kind of get that communication going. And so it's going to ask a lot of questions about study habit, when do you get up in the morning? Are you a late night person? So that the residents can get to know each other and then lay some boundaries out. And so we always say start with that. And then if there's concerns, you can always go to your resident advisor. We're happy to sit down, talk to you, and have a group mediation if necessary, and revisit that roommate agreement if necessary.
Awesome.
We have another question from the audience. Polycarbonate asks, what are pods?
Pods. So in our new iCommunity in PCV, we are doing pods with our residents that are living there. So this is our new community happening in PCV. And so pods are, since our floor plans are pretty big, we're actually bringing them into smaller groups that they'll be able to get to know each other on a more personal level. So it'll just be a more intimate setting for them to get to know one another, study habits, and just spend time with one another. And they'll do meetings in pods instead of just big building meetings.
Oh.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, Craigness asks if we can see the floor plans of the rooms.
Yeah, actually all the floor plans are online, so hopefully it's relatively easy to find. But I think if you just go to the housing.calpoly.edu website and then click on campus housing or student housing, and on the right hand column there's navigation there that says the class level that you are. So if you're a freshman, then you can click on whatever community you've been assigned to and look at the floor plans there. They're pretty descriptive. They have dimensions of the distance underneath the bed and how wide the dressers are and all of that. I know a lot of parents and students want to know exactly how deep the drawer is for their containers that they're putting in there, so all that stuff matters. But yes, the floor plans and all the dimensions of the furniture and everything are online.
And could you tell us a little bit about what safety's like in the residence hall, what the protocols are, how safe should students feel, when should they seek help, things like that? Yeah,
definitely. We keep the doors locked 24/7, so to get into a building, they're going to have an access card that will get them into there. Our resident advisors, they do serve on-call rotations in the evening, so they're walking around, checking to make sure lights are on, make sure that our residents and the community is safe, and that we don't have anyone trying to get in or sneak in. And those numbers are also posted next to the resident advisor rooms and right next to their front desks as well. So if there's an evening emergency, someone gets locked out, if someone's not feeling well, or they had a friend that maybe partied a little too hard and they're concerned for them, they can always contact that resident advisor, and we can get them connected with UPD, get them checked out. We always want to remind people to lock their doors. That's going to be the biggest thing that they can do to make sure they're staying safe and keeping their items safe, is lock those doors, carry your keys around with you.
And stay in communication. Like you said earlier, communication is key. So if the roommates if you talk to each other and say, I'm heading home for the weekend, make sure your roommate knows that. Or even if you're not going to come back that night for whatever reason, if you're doing something, just being in communication. And even when you walk to the shower, close and lock the door when you go to the shower, because your roommate might be in class and there you're in the bathroom for 45 minutes or something, and just make sure that anytime you leave your room to lock your door and keep your key with you.
Definitely. Yep. Thanks.
Okay, Kelsey wants to know if the laundry facilities are on the first floor of each tower.
Each tower. Yeah, we do have. I'm guessing she's talking about Yosemite and Sierra Madre. Yeah. And you know what? I can't think. I know in the residence halls they're on certain wings, and over in PCV for our freshmen coming into gypsum, there's a big laundry room over there, and they're normally in each building. So I'm.
I don't know the exact towers at Sierra Madre and Yosemite that they have laundry facilities, but I don't think it's on the first floor of every tower, but it's not just one that everybody has to use. There's definitely enough. We've never had a line out the door or anything like that.
Yeah, we have enough to accommodate everybody.
Yes.
I know it's the same for North Mountain as well. It's in 3 of the buildings.
Yeah,
I'm not
3 out of
sure
the
which
5.
ones, but 3 of the 5.
Yes.
Expect about that. And also, Camille wants to know if you can have toasters or if there are toasters in the residence halls.
In the residence halls. I don't think they can bring toasters, and I'm trying to think of what our fire policy is. Most of it goes to, we can't have any exposed heating element.
Toasters are definitely on the do not bring list.
There you go.
But you can have, but each residence hall, first floor, I believe, has a community kitchen. So a lot of times students will say, I want to bake some cookies for everybody in my hall. I'm going to get all the ingredients, and I'm going to bake cookies in this community kitchen. And that's where you can use a toaster or some of those other kind of exposed heating element types of small appliances that aren't allowable in the residence hall rooms.
They can bring a coffee pot and maker, and then they can also bring a water heater as long as it's got a auto shut off for them. And then our residents that live in PCV or our communities that have kitchens in their apartment, they can, like Sarah Vista or Gypsum for our iCommunity folks, they can have rice cookers, indoor grills, but all that stuff has to stay in the kitchen.
Okay.
Thanks. One thing that I think is important for students to know is, like, obviously the residence hall is not just a place that you're going to go to sleep at night. It's a community as well. And I don't know if you guys could touch on maybe some tips for, like, how to take advantage of that community and how to get involved, and if you do want to get involved in that residence hall, how to do it, and anything like that.
Yeah. Well, some great opportunities, and they'll see flyers and people walking around when they come in, is our community councils. And that's a great voice for the community. That's another student voice that they can get involved in. It's like a mini student government, but they are going to focus a lot on programming and providing social opportunities for our residents in the halls. We encourage them to go to the programs that our advisors and university housing are putting on. That's a great way to meet other people in your building. And I always say, just walk out of your room. To your left and to your right, you're going to have a bunch of people that you're going to get to know really well for the rest of the year. So, day 1, day 2, start getting to know them and build that. Definitely.
Yeah, and then throughout the year, eventually they'll get notification about the RA positions, right?
Yeah.
That's another leadership opportunity if you want to be an RA. And then we also have a housing ambassador program that's pretty robust and pretty fun. We have daily housing tours, so if you maybe if you visited campus before and you took a Cal Poly housing tour with a Poly rep, or maybe even a housing tour in the past, those student tour guide positions are often fun and a great way to get into a leadership role, and if you like public speaking. So we have housing ambassador positions that are available each year, and you can give tours and greet the guests that come onto campus.
Yeah, we start advertising for our those positions, and they can also work at our front desk, and that's a great way to stay in the community and get to know those residents, is working at our front desk as well. And those positions are all advertised at the very beginning once they start working, move it in, so they can talk to our staff about that. Yeah, thanks.
Tom from the audience wants to know, what items will they receive at move-in? So like the keys, access codes, etc.
Yeah, so when they move in, we're asking them to bring their ID with them, and we would say students come to the room and start checking in our entrance halls, and parents can then stay behind and unpack their cars and such. But when they move in, they're going to be getting their access cards to get into the building. They're going to receive their hard key. They're going to get a room condition inventory. So we're going to ask them to go quickly check their room, make sure there's no damage, or if we note some small things, check that, and then we'll refer to that again when they check out. We have packets in there, just a lot of information. They're going to also get a student handbook, and we really like them to take a look at that, because that's going to explain what policies we're going to hold them to throughout the year. And so that has some tips. It has phone numbers in that as well, so that's something that they should definitely review as they're settling in.
Yeah, and on that note too, I mentioned the driving and parking on that move-in day. If you get close to the residence hall, like Andy said, the student can just hop out of the car with their photo ID, and they can stand in line to get their key, and then the parent or supporters or whoever's there can drive around to the curb and unload the items, so that the whole family doesn't have to stand in line to get that key. That first step the student can do on their own, and then the family can unload the car. So it's just another tip.
Yep.
Perfect. And then B. Martin 38 wants to know, is it harder to live in a triple instead of a double?
You know, I think it's probably a lot more fun to live in a triple. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in housing. You know, when we find our students that go into triples, they like staying there, and then they don't want to leave. You know, they build that connection with that third roommate. The rooms are fairly big, you know, and so whether you're in a double or a triple, there's going to be plenty of room for you to move around and to store all your items. And you know, that's just one more person that you get to know and build that lifelong connection with.
I think I've noticed that the triples that I've seen, if anything, the communication seems to be more open, because it's almost like there's just a third person to talk to and to open up that communication. And then when there's two people, I was in a double, and I had a lot of fun, but there were times when I had to force myself to go talk to my roommate about an issue. And all the triples I've seen, it seems like they have less of that problem for whatever reason. I'm not even sure why.
We have a really successful triple room program. Students are really happy with the rooms, so I think the trend will continue.
Good.
It's like double the friends on the first day. You walk in, it's like double the friends.
That's funny. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up now, but I just want to take a minute to thank you guys for all the tips, all the advice. I hope that you are even more excited to move in now. It should be a lot of fun. And I don't know if you guys want to give any last tips before we move on or anything like that, but you've given a lot. So
yeah,
we've been sending out emails, so check your emails for that move-in information. Everything is at housing.calpoly.edu as well. They can find a lot of the information there.
Yeah, just a reminder, just move that car. Once the car gets unloaded, move the car.
Parking services is quick.
Yeah.
They will find you.
UPD will find you. And we do have the shuttles. We have at least 6 shuttles that are running every day, so take advantage of that. It's a great service we have.
Well, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
We're going to send it over to Dan's Corner, and he's going to give you some advice on roommates, and then we have a very special guest coming on Poly Live, so we'll see you in a minute.
Hi, my name is Dan, and welcome to Dan's Corner. The search to find my corner has finally ended, and here it is. Although it pains me to say this is our last Poly Live episode of the summer. So, to leave you all with some wisdom, I've decided to get some helpful tips of having or being a successful roommate. Keep in mind that some of these tips might only be situational and only help some of the time. So let's dive right into it.
Rule number 1, just be direct. If there's something bothering you about your roommate, then just ask them nicely to do that certain task. More often than not, they probably don't know that what they're doing is bothering you. Don't be passive aggressive and leave silly notes like someone should do the dishes when there's only 2 people living there. Number 2, the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. This pretty much applies to life. Really, an inverse corner? Ha ha. Rule number 3, be flexible. Always try to see their side of the story and accommodate them if you can. Plus, compromise is a great way to get a solution instead of getting into an argument. Maybe do a little stretching to reduce stress.
Number 4, hygiene. Hygiene is not only essential for roommates, but also for everyday life. Hygiene can include, but not limited to, showering, brushing your teeth, laundry.
Number 5, meet other people, not just your roommates. All of the incoming student body are really excited to meet new people. So I suggest that you utilize this opportunity to meet as many people as you can.
Thank you, Dan, for those tips on roommates, and I'm glad that you finally found your corner. Round of applause for that one.
There's a lot of corners in that video.
So now we're here with a big man on campus. I mean, I feel like he's kind of important. The president of our campus, Mr. Armstrong. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, and hello. This is great.
So we know that you have the big title, but what do you do on campus? That's a big question.
Well, the formal response is to provide leadership and vision for the campus. Be the keeper of learn by doing, all of those cool things. You know, it's very important. But on an informal sense, I'm really a member of a team. We have outstanding vice presidents, our provost, vice president for student affairs, vice president for administration and finance, and a vice president for advancement. And then we have many other support folks. I have a chief of staff and others. So I'm part of the team. And then that extends to the deans and others. But it's leadership and vision.
I love it. So what are some of the exciting changes that are going to be happening on campus?
Well, most important thing I'm excited about is the Mustang Academic Success Center. That's coming from the student success fee that students voted on a couple of years ago. And that's going to be put in place because what we're doing is everything possible to remove obstacles to graduation. Number one thing at Cal Poly is student success. It's key. We've started the planning process for additional residence halls. Students do better when they live in university housing, and we want to have housing for all our first and second year students. We're about 3,000 beds short for being able to do that now. And you just heard cool things about housing from Tessa and Andy, but we want to have even more housing. We want to have even more themed housing where students of interest can get together like they do now, but to expand that and to extend it.
And these guys get to be, I think, the first freshman class to check out the new Science and Math Center. Which
that is so cool.
It is cool.
This building, you know, it's about 190,000 square feet. It was built by the state and by our donors.
Gosh.
And as Dean Phil Bailey says, every student is in this College of Science and Math because everyone takes some type of science and math because we're Polytechnic. And that building is just absolutely awesome. There's great places to hang out. There's balconies. It is going to be so cool.
Did you get to check it out last week? I was there too.
Get to check it out.
That was so cool.
Did you get lost?
Yes, I did.
I've been lost
It was
already.
with the tour group, so that's really embarrassing. But
It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's some gorgeous views, amazing rooms, and there's an Albert Einstein just chilling outside.
A little statue just hanging out.
I took a picture with him.
That Albert Einstein was donated by Paul Bonderson, one of our engineering alums, and he even delivered it himself.
Oh, that's cool.
Drove the truck up here and delivered it himself. That's Cal Poly dedication.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mustang way, love it. So, how do you live the Mustang way?
I work hard at it. Pride, character, and responsibility.
There we go.
We have a question from the audience, a question from Lauren, and she wants to know, what is the president's favorite part of WOW?
The president's favorite part of WOW? Well, students. Anytime I see a Poly rep on campus and there's a group, they always ask me, what's your favorite part of Cal Poly? And I always say students. But that aside, which is very important, I like it when everyone gathers for the first time. Jason and I were just talking about that, and with our friend Paul, and I get to speak to the students and give a bit of advice starting out. That is awesome to see everybody together. And this year, we're growing. So we have additional numbers compared to previous years. It's exciting.
It's absolutely amazing. So you just told us your favorite thing about WOW, but what's your favorite thing about Cal Poly in general?
My favorite thing about Cal Poly in general is students, no question about it.
The weather's not bad either, is it?
Yeah.
The weather's not bad, but think about it. You ask, what's the president do? Well, think about the president is the perpetual student leader, because I get to do all the cool things you do. I get to live on campus. I get to hang out with students. I get to live in San Luis Obispo, but I don't have to leave. I get to stay. I never graduate. But we want you to graduate and then come back and visit us.
Definitely. So do you have any advice for incoming students?
Well, the best advice I have is to really study, number one. Cal Poly is a serious institution. We take student success very seriously. Our faculty, staff, everyone cares. So you have to study, but also get involved. And don't be so cool that you don't get involved. Don't be so cool that you skip out on part of WOW. It might be the very thing that connects you with a friend for life or gives you a skill that helps you for 4 or 5 years here at Cal Poly. So get engaged. Talk to the professors. Talk to the staff members. Get involved. Get involved. Get involved.
I totally agree. I don't think there's another time in your life when you're granted so many new opportunities to experience things that you've never done before, and I don't know why you'd say no to any of them. I remember if I could go back and do freshman year again and do 100 new things, I totally would, because it's so much fun.
Well, our current student body president, Jason Colombini, he started his career in leadership as a member of the Hall Council through the Inter Hall Council.
There you go.
That's a good example. That's where you can get started.
We have a question from the audience from Polycarbonate, and he asked if the president is going to be at Wow-Rama this year.
Yes, I will be there.
By the way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Wow-Rama is an absolutely massive event that goes on during WOW. We bring everybody. Well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but wait for Wow-Rama.
Don't tell them
cool.
too much.
Yeah, I don't want to, but you should be there.
Just say world records might be broken. I'm just gonna throw that.
Yeah. And as far as things that you don't want to miss during the week of welcome, I think that's high up on the list for me. So.
Yeah, I've been known to participate.
So as a follow-up question, this is very serious. Will you join my WOW group?
Of course.
Look at
Witness. You heard it here first.
I crash a lot of WOW groups.
I'm 122, by the way. But just come say hi. It's fine.
Sense a little competition. Once you're in the WOW group, you'll get it.
We have another audience question from CP3, and they want to know if how the statistics program is at Cal Poly.
Well, like a lot of things at Cal Poly, several things about Cal Poly. Learn by doing, focus on student success and excellence, and that's all the context of a comprehensive polytechnic program. In fact, it was just last week I was contacted by a parent of an incoming statistics student, maybe CP3s, I don't know, but it's a good program. And statistics will be adding additional faculty member looking in cybersecurity and big data as part of one of our areas of emphasis. So statistics is a really cool field.
Awesome. We have another audience question, this one from Craigness, and the question is, can I wear a horse mask around school to show school spirit?
Of course. You can even apply to be Musty. And that's our mascot, and there are several students that participate. But I'd be careful and take it off when I'm in class so you don't distract other students, and it might hinder you learning.
It's probably pretty hot under there, I would think.
Yeah, it might be pretty hot.
And another question about that from Jonathan: why is the mascot a Mustang here at Cal Poly?
Why is the mascot a Mustang? That's a really good question. I'm going to need to research that. But if you look back at our fight song, and it talks about cut a rusty, that means do your best. It's rooted in the Western culture. It's rooted in not in agriculture per se, but it's rooted in the Western culture, the rodeo, and working animals, and it's part of who we are. So that's where it comes from. And we got a little surprise that'll happen at one of the football games this fall. we're going to be introducing a new mascot. We have someone that has donated a real Mustang. So the students will be participating and working on this. So stay tuned, students. Live Mustang to complement the student who serves as Musty, not to diminish. We need both.
Yeah. In a way,
So
we
you
have
heard
two
it. You
Mustangs.
heard it here first.
That's funny.
That's absolutely amazing. Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap this up, but do you have any final advice for the students, or even for some of the parents and supporters that could be watching before they come
Well, I
to
would just
college?
say, first and foremost, welcome to the Mustang family. It really is a great group. You are part of the family now, and that includes parents and supporters. If you have questions, ask. Reach out to me, reach out to others. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to take advantage of the resources that are there. One thing about Learn by Doing and one thing about being a Mustang, always getting better. We're always getting better. And that's true for these two, and that's true for our incoming students. So, thanks.
Thank you so much for the advice. We're going to go to a pop-up video for the week of welcome, so stay tuned.
WOW is completely amazing. A huge shared experience between mostly everybody on campus.
One of the coolest weeks that you will ever experience in your entire life.
It's like a sack of bricks to the face of awesome.
The first day had a WOW-rama, which was unique.
There is no way to really describe WOW-rama unless you've seen it. It's sort of one of those things with Cal Poly students where you look at each other and you just say, remember WOW-rama? Like, you know.
Running, jumping, you are crawling, you're rolling on the ground, you're screaming, you're cheering.
It's just indescribable. It's something that you have to experience at least once in your lifetime.
And it's just absolutely crazy.
There are so many things that the campus puts on during WOW. There's the rally, the soccer game, the hypnotist.
I did get hypnotized myself.
I had a boy come and sit on my lap.
I sat on some random girl's lap in the audience and tried to kiss her.
You don't think, oh, I'm gonna come to college and the first thing I'm gonna do is go to like a real concert with all these people and there's just so much energy.
The dance is an absolute blast. You and just a bunch of just incoming freshmen are just going crazy on the dance floor. And it's just one of those times that you kind of just, let loose and, dance.
Awareness is thought-provoking. Well, I can't say that it raises awareness.
It gives you that information that nobody likes to talk about, but everybody needs to know.
Awareness is the opportunity for new students to learn about the real dangers that are out there in a college.
I really don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. It's all about personal choices, but no matter what personal choices people make, you still need to respect them and to look out for them.
The awareness presentations that WOW provides are very accurate. They're not far-fetched and they're not scare tactics.
You stop and you look around and you realize, wow, that's a lot of people. And I don't feel alone.
Participate in every activity that your WOW leader plans for you.
Go to everything.
Definitely bring a water bottle, pack comfortable shoes with you, and sleep. I can't tell you enough that you really need to sleep because your week is going to be jam-packed with things to do.
Don't forget that there's really important things that you can take away from just listening and paying attention.
As long as you're coming in and with an open mind and saying, I'm going to have the best time of my life, you will have the best time of your life.
Don't take 1 second of it for granted. Give 110% to every single activity, every single processing session, every single presentation you go to, whatever it may be. Just be fully engaged because you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And let me tell you, if you put in 100%, you're going to get out way more than you ever thought you could ever get out of 1 week.
You could be my luck, even if the sky is falling. safe and sound. I can lift you up. I can show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be my love. Even if the sky is falling down, I know you will be safe.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. It's all to pump up WoW, and WoW is a really, really cool thing, and I hope that you really consider doing it. In fact, you should do it. Almost everybody does.
Yeah.
Noni and I have done a lot of work with WoW over the years, and we love it. I think it's one of the coolest things, not just on campus, but really anywhere. It's awesome. So.
It's absolutely amazing, and I've done it all 4 years that I've been here, and I will still be leading a group, so 122. See you then.
It's a great way to meet people. If you have any questions, contact orientation@calpoly.edu. Ask them those questions. It's a really, really cool thing. We want to give you another minute now to vote on that photo contest if you didn't get a chance before. Again, we have pictures from Australia, from Alaska, from the Grand Canyon. So really, really cool stuff. Vote on whichever one is your favorite. Let us know. And then the winner of that photo contest is going to be getting a free t-shirt from the bookstore. So that'll be really cool. The university store, they're sponsoring this giveaway, so congrats to them. Yeah.
And also, before the break, CP3 asked President Armstrong whether or not he prefers the Niners or the Raiders. And he said Niners.
Go Niners.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but I love San Francisco, so why not?
Well, he got to watch a great game on Sunday. I'm just saying that. Okay. Way to beat the Packers. Anyways, I hope you had a lot of fun. We got a ton of information this episode. We had some people from University Housing who had a lot of information about moving in. There's so much to know, but yeah. I mean, it's exciting. I'm excited for you guys to move in. So
we got to talk to the president, and he got to tell us that we are getting a new Mustang, which is really cool. But
yeah.
He also gave a lot of great tips to the incoming freshmen. So definitely feel free to re-watch this episode and remember those.
If you have any more questions about anything that we discussed in this episode, again, email orientation@calpoly.edu. Let us know what those questions are. We will respond. We will get back to you. We'll do it quickly. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. We're PolyLive on Facebook, and we're trying to get to 1,000 likes. And if we can do it before WoW starts, we're giving away free WoW.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get a free WoW, so that's pretty cool.
That's absolutely amazing. We just got word we have the winner for the photo contest. Can we get a drum roll? Cassidy Williams is the winner of the photo contest. Woo!
That was a great picture. I love that view. Congrats to you.
We'll be getting in contact with you, Cassidy, so hold tight.
Congratulations. So this is the end of our summer season, but don't worry, PolyLive is not ending. I know you don't want to leave us because we're that cool. So PolyLive will be back on October 2nd for the fall season, and we're going to be doing, once again, a live broadcast from the web. You know the deal on that. And we're going to be broadcasting from a residence hall, and you can come check us out. You can be part of the audience that watches us. You can come cheer us on and do all that stuff. So that should be a lot of fun. And for the parents watching at home, you can continue to watch us. We'll be broadcasting throughout the school year, so definitely keep an eye on that.
And also make sure to just keep sending in your questions, keep sending in your feedback, and we would always love it, and we always want to improve. So do that.
It's been a lot of fun, and I'm so excited for you guys to move in and join our Cal Poly community. And until next time, thank you.
Bye.